Alcoholism and Addiction Recovery, Part 5. Let's Keep It Simple. Written by Robert C. Hickle, M.A. Edited and updated by Thomas H. Shear, Ph.D. Narrated by Frank Gerard. Let's Keep It Simple. About the title. There is a tradition in Alcoholics Anonymous that among the last words that Dr. Bob spoke to the other founder of AA, Bill W., was these: "Let us not louse this thing up. Let us keep it simple." Whether these words were spoken or not, I don't know. I do know that they sum up a great deal of the wisdom of AA. Let's keep it simple. Preface. What then is counseling? I have spent the better part of 2 hours talking to a class of counselor trainees. I have spent a lot of time explaining what counseling is not. It is not giving advice. It is not fixing people. It is not being wiser than your client. It is not being a puppeteer. It is not enabling. Finally, when the time was about gone, one trainee brought me up short. "You have spent a lot of time telling us what counseling is not," he said. "Now tell us what counseling is." Well, the answer was there, ready, even though I had not thought it through. Counseling, I said, is a process of mutual change. I'll stick with that. A non-alcoholic at an AA meeting. I was once at an open AA meeting at a treatment center where a long-term friend of mine was seeking sobriety. I was sitting with the patients rather than the visitor and was comfortably slouched down in my seat. The person chairing the meeting took me to task for sleeping, and when I told her I had slept through more AA meetings than she had attended, she challenged me to get up and speak. I did so, and while I didn't remember what I said, the occasion made an impression on my mind. It was obvious that the chairperson mistook me for an alcoholic and very likely a patient. I have always been very careful not to sail under false colors at AA meetings and to make sure everyone knows I am not an alcoholic. The longer I thought about it, the greater my responsibility seemed to be able to make my status as a non-combatant clear. Alcoholics and their families are special people. They have paid a tremendous price before they accept the label alcoholic, and to slide into their fellowship without having paid the dues strikes me as a rather cheap way to travel. An AA club once made me an honorary alcoholic, but it was all in fun, and we all knew it didn't really mean anything. I have attended many AA meetings, a privilege for which I am most grateful. When the group conscience has allowed me to do so, I have spoken to AA groups. I must always keep in mind, however, that it is only through the gracious kindness of AA that I am there at all. Any phoniness is soon detected, and if I don't play by the rules, I will lose what I consider one of my most precious gifts, the acceptance of recovering alcoholics. Doing the right thing for the wrong reason, too. I have found myself from time to time in a somewhat obtruse discussion with my son over whether it is better to do the right thing for the wrong reason than it is to do that thing at all. I like to use the example of sending blankets to earthquake victims in some remote areas of the world. Now, if I send blankets because it helps my income tax, and you send blankets because you can genuinely care about the suffering people, the results are the same, for the recipient receives the blankets. Both my blankets and your blankets keep the recipients equally warm. The difference seems to be that when I fill out my income tax forms, I have my reward. Your rewards are undoubtedly much greater. How does this relate to the illness of alcoholism? It is very simple. We often hear that people shouldn't be going to AA unless they are doing it for the right reason. They shouldn't go unless they are genuinely seeking sobriety. I submit that very few people begin to go to AA because they want sobriety. The reasons range from laying the ultimate con on one's loved ones to simply going to AA rather than going to jail. The longer we study the matter, the more convinced we are that the recovery rate of alcoholics is about the same, no matter what they feel the reason is for going to AA. I guess it all boils down to this. I would much rather have alcoholics in treatment and AA or AA for any reason
Sample complete. Ready to continue?